Hi again, and welcome to the British Accent Podcast. I'm Emily.
And I'm Nick. It's good to have you back. Today we're slowing things down a bit and talking about something that might feel simple on the surface, but goes a bit deeper the more you sit with it, this idea that life isn't a to-do list. It's a series of feelings.
Right? And I think so many of us forget that. We wake up thinking of what we need to tick off, who we need to reply to, what we haven't done yet. We start measuring our days by how productive they look, instead of how they actually felt.
It's wild, isn't it? How easily we turn being alive into a checklist. Wake up early, tick. Answer emails, tick. Go to the gym, drink enough water, call your mum back, tick tick tick. But somewhere in the middle of all that, we forget to feel the day. To be in it.
And the thing is, feelings aren't always tidy or useful in the way tasks are. You can't cross off, felt joy today, or had a quiet moment of grief while making tea, like it's something to be managed. But those are the things that make us human. That's the real stuff.
Exactly. The moments that actually stay with us, the way sunlight felt on your face, the comfort of laughing with someone you love, or even the ache of missing something, those things never make it onto the to-do list. But they are life. The real, unstructured, unscheduled bits.
And maybe what we need isn't more efficiency. Maybe what we need is permission to let a day be a day. Not just a series of tasks, but a series of experiences. And to stop measuring ourselves by how much we managed to get through, and start noticing how much we were actually here for.
Yeah, and I think there's something really powerful in allowing yourself to exist outside of productivity. To wake up and ask, what do I feel today, instead of, what do I have to do today? It doesn't mean you throw structure out the window, it just means you stop tying your worth to it.
And honestly, some of the most meaningful days aren't the ones where we got the most done. They're the ones where we felt connected. Where we noticed something beautiful. Where we let ourselves cry, or rest, or laugh without rushing off to the next task.
But it's hard, isn't it? We're so conditioned to prove we're doing enough. Even our rest ends up on the checklist: relax for 15 minutes, do mindfulness, take a break. It all becomes performative, instead of intentional.
Exactly. And that's where the pressure creeps in. We feel guilty if we don't do everything. We feel like we've failed if the day wasn't productive. But what if the most valuable part of the day was a quiet 5 minutes where you just existed? No pressure, no expectation. Just you, being alive.
That's what I think people forget. Life isn't this constant sprint towards achievement. It's a collection of fleeting, emotional, messy, beautiful moments. And if we don't slow down enough to feel them, we miss what actually matters.
And maybe that's why some days feel so empty, even when we've done everything we were supposed to. Because deep down, we weren't in those moments, we were just getting through them. Head down, checking boxes, moving on.
It's like living on autopilot. You might look like you've got everything together from the outside, but inside, there's no color, no texture. Just gray. Just motion without meaning.
And we all fall into that sometimes. It's not something to feel ashamed of. Life gets busy, responsibilities pile up, and sometimes surviving the day is all you can manage. But it's in those pauses, those moments when you stop and actually feel, that life starts to soften again.
And I think the more we remind ourselves of that, the more we give ourselves permission to live beyond the checklist, the closer we get to the kind of life that actually feels like ours. One that isn't about keeping up, but about being here.
Yeah. Maybe you didn't send the email, or clean the kitchen, or tick off half your list, but maybe you had a moment where you just breathed, or looked out the window and actually saw the sky. That's not wasted. That's living, too.
And I think the more we remind ourselves of that, the more we give ourselves permission to live beyond the checklist, the closer we get to the kind of life that actually feels like ours. One that isn't about keeping up, but about being here.
And when you start to see your day that way, not as something to conquer, but something to experience, everything shifts a little. You stop rushing. You start noticing. Even the smallest things start to carry meaning.
Like the sound of the kettle boiling. Or the way your body softens when someone speaks to you gently. Or even the quiet sadness you feel that you can't quite explain, that counts too. Not everything has to be useful. Some things just are, and that's enough.
We've been taught that feelings are inconvenient. That they get in the way of being efficient, of staying focused, of getting things done. But actually, feelings are what connect us. They're the reason we remember certain days forever, and forget others instantly.
And when we don't give ourselves time to feel, it all starts to blur together. You lose track of what you even want, what you care about, what makes you you. You're just ticking boxes and hoping it adds up to something real. But real life doesn't come in bullet points.
No, it comes in moments. In the rush of relief when you let go of something heavy. In the ache of missing someone. In the quiet pride of doing something that scared you. It's not tidy. It's not always pretty. But it's honest, and that's what makes it worth living.
And the more we slow down and pay attention, the more we start to notice how much of life is happening in between all the things we thought were important. Like in the pauses between conversations, or the stillness after a long sigh, or the feeling you get when someone just gets you without needing a full explanation.
It's easy to miss those things when you're constantly focused on what's next. The next task, the next goal, the next achievement. But life doesn't ask you to be impressive. It asks you to be present. And that's a completely different way of showing up.
And being present doesn't mean everything has to feel good. It just means you're here for it. The joy, the frustration, the messiness, the quiet, letting all of it exist without needing to control or perfect it.
And when we stop trying to manage every part of the day like a schedule, we start to feel again. We cry when we need to. We laugh when something's truly funny. We feel moved by small things. And we realize, we were never meant to live like machines.
No. We were meant to live like people. Messy, emotional, complicated, beautiful people. And that means giving yourself permission to feel the whole spectrum, even when it interrupts your plans or slows down your progress.
Because sometimes the most meaningful thing you can do in a day is simply feel something real. Without rushing past it. Without judging it. Just letting it be part of your story. Part of your life.
And maybe that's where the depth comes from, not in the number of things you accomplished, but in the things that touched you. The way a certain song made you pause. Or how someone's kindness lingered longer than expected.
Yeah. The richness of life isn't found in how productive you were, but in how much of it you noticed. And that kind of noticing only happens when you're not constantly trying to move on to the next thing.
It's funny how we spend so much time chasing the big moments, thinking they're what make a life worth living, but it's the little moments, the unnoticed feelings, the quiet shifts, that shape us more than we realize.
Like sitting in silence with someone you trust. Or remembering something that used to hurt, and noticing it doesn't sting as much. Those aren't things you can write on a list. But they mean everything.
And I think, if we really let ourselves live this way, if we gave ourselves permission to step off the treadmill of constant doing, we'd finally feel the fullness of life we've been searching for in all the wrong places.
Because it was never really about doing more. It was about feeling more. Letting yourself be fully in the day, whatever it brings. Even if all it brings is a quiet moment that reminds you, you're still here. And that's enough.
So if today didn't go the way you planned, or if your to-do list is still half full, try not to see that as failure. You still lived a day. You still felt things. You were still here, and that counts for more than you think.
You're not a project to complete. You're not a productivity score. You're a person. And your feelings, your pauses, your presence, they matter just as much as anything you do.
Thanks for spending some time with us today. We hope this was a gentle reminder that your worth has never been in your output, it's always been in your humanity.
This is the British Accent Podcast. Until next time, take it slow, feel what you feel, and let that be more than enough.